Hi folks, it's good to be with you. Love to everybody out there. Website's jasonbirdspreacher.com. You get me on Facebook and Twitter. It's a gorgeous day today. Just coming back to Muhammad hijab and the Trinity, and one or two Muslims have tried to answer the question about oneness of God. It's very simple. One Muslim said God is defined by three, and Tawhid is God is defined by one, and so they said checkmate. But you cannot have unity without plurality. You cannot have plurality without unity. Plurality and unity have to be together. It's impossible for anything in the universe, or even outside of the universe, not to be have unity and plurality. It's an impossibility. If you say that God is one, that's one, but there's plurality even in that definition. There's 99 names of Allah, there are attributes of Allah, there's differentiation and parts within the so-called Tawhid, oneness of God. So you can never escape the vice of plurality and unity. So when you attack the Trinity is showing you that all things have plurality and unity. Checkmate. Okay, back to the main issue that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Brexit. Just having a walk in a nice area here. And for me, I've been grieved about Brexit. It's the 100-year armistice today, and I watched the cenotaph laying of the wreaths and was profoundly moved by all the wreaths that were laid, and remembering what the troops did for us, sacrificed for us in the First World War, Second World War, and other wars. And I have great, profound respect for what they did. And great respect for that we as British people are able to put on ceremonies like that. We are the best at it. But in all the traditional pomp, I thought, you can't have your cake and eat it. All this traditional pomp, with all the soldiers and the wreaths and the playing of the music and the flying of the flags and the Church of England coming out with their crosses and all the rest of it, I thought, you can't have your cake and eat it, because the Church of England has abandoned the faith. The Church of England is following new moralities now, turning away from traditional marriage and beginning to advocate gay marriage, the same with the Church of Scotland. The Church of England has just become morally bankrupt. Not all Church of England churches, there are some still left, but Church of England is not what it used to be. It is abandoned the faith. And the establishment from root branch, from the royal family to the politicians to the civil servants, they've allowed this new morality where children as boys and that are boys are told they can be a girl, and girl they can be a boy. They've turned morality upside down. That what was right, they've said is wrong, and what is wrong, they've said is right. So all this traditional pomp at armistice, you can't have your cake and eat it when the moral foundations of the nation have been corrupt, when you've left your Judeo-Christian roots, then you're going nowhere as a nation. We're going nowhere. We're falling apart. And all the pomp at armistice is just a shell of the decay that's already going on deep within our society. We need to get back to our Judeo-Christian roots. Read John Bunyan, John Wesley, Charles Wesley, read John Newton, William Wilberforce, J.C. Ryle, read the Fox's Book of Martyrs, read the Westminster Confession of Faith, read your King James Bible and rediscover your faith. Then I want to get to Brexit. Over 17 million people voted for Brexit. The European Parliament has dragged its feet. The British government has dragged its feet. And it's an absolute disgrace and a betrayal to that 17 million people that voted. And you gave them a chance to vote, they voted, and now that you're not giving them the deal that they wanted, which was just to come out of Europe, root and branch. And secondly, you're just going to mess them about. I don't know what the deal's going to be, but whatever it is, it's a betrayal of the British people and a betrayal of those 17.5 million people that voted to leave. So whatever happens in the next few years, British politics will never ever be the same again. You're going to see the disintegration of British politics. You're going to see the complete disintegration of British politics, where the Conservative Party will split to the right, and then there will be a left and a moderate side, and there'll be a right-wing side. The Labour Party will split from a moderate side to a more radical side. You're going to see the rise of right-wing parties, and you probably even see the rise of right-wing paramilitaries who feel that the Brexit was a sham, and they will be like Northern Ireland, where they will begin to advocate violence in the defence of Brexit, just like the IRA and the Ulster Defence Force rose up to defend their rights in Northern Ireland. So we're going to see in the next few years the breaking up of British politics. You're going to see Scotland wanting to leave the UK. You're going to see total mass disintegration of British politics, and British politics, the day this Brexit issue is sorted, which will be a betrayal of the British people, it will be a day when British politics changes forever. And in the midst of all that, you're going to see the disintegration of political correctness, how it falls apart. First, it will become more communistic, where it strips more and more people's free speech away. For example, in Scotland, the police have advertised anybody who says things on the internet, shut them in, tell us about it. They advertise that on the railways. I mean, that is, if nobody can see that is communistic, then you need to open your eyes. So this political correctness will become more controlling, but again, eventually it will disintegrate. It will collapse. And in the midst of it, you'll see the rise of Islam, and in the reaction to that, you'll see the rise of the right wing and possibly paramilitary forces on either side in the future. And then it will probably descend to civil war in years to come. So the future doesn't look bright for Britain. And so at the cenotaph, when everybody is there and there's all this great ceremony and pomp and the establishment's there, the foundations are already collapsing. The foundations are already crumbling. And the only hope in the time of the French Revolution, there were preachers like John Wesley, George Whitefield, who rose up, God rose up. And it was said that their preaching stopped the French Revolution coming to the British Isles. And unless the British churches and the British preachers begin to have boldness and begin to awake and sound an alarm and sound the gospel and thunder the gospel in the UK and preach the word of God faithfully, and then the British people hear the clarion call of a clear gospel, then it's dark days for Britain, and even the end of Britain. And I don't want to say that, but the future looks very, very bleak for Britain unless God steps in, and I pray that He would. Unless God steps in, then I don't see any future for our country. I really don't. The establishment, the universities, colleges, every person in the UK needs to take stock of where we're going as a nation. We're on the road to oblivion. We've made that which is evil good when it's not good, and we've made that which is good evil. We've turned everything upside down. Everything that is morally just and right, we've turned it upside down and said it's evil, and everything that's evil, we've turned it upside down and said that it's good. We've turned everything upside down, and when you do that, you cannot expect to get away with it with God. You can't expect to get away with it. You will not get away with it. Nations have done it, empires have done it, and they've come under the fierce judgment of God. And God is in control, and God has his kingdom, and God will take down the British people if they will not turn back to him. And not only the British people, but the West, our Western countries, our Western civilization, has done the same, and is in the same darkness, and is in the same mess. So that is my warning, and that is my comment on Brexit today. God bless you.